If you pack wrong for summer in Alaska, you're going to be miserable. And I'm not trying to be dramatic, but after living here and traveling the state pretty much full time for the last 4 years, I've seen people show up in their full winter gear and be sweating, and I've also seen people not have enough layers and be freezing. So in this video, I'm walking you through exactly what you need to pack for your trip to Alaska this summer. Also, this video is a little different than our other adventure-based videos, but by the time you're watching this, Tyler and I will be in Africa. And we thought this was a good filler video that I've honestly been wanting to make for a while now, so let's get into it. The biggest mistake people make when they're packing for Alaska is that they tend to think for one season, whether it's bring all your winter clothes or bring your summer clothes. In one single day, it can be sunny and 75, or it can be freezing rain and mid-30s, and even colder if you're planning to visit some glaciers. And the truth is, you really need to layer. So the main goal that you want to have when you're packing is to pack layers. You're going to want some really nice base layers, mid layers, and outer layers that you can take on and off throughout your adventures. Number one is base layers. I tend to wear my thermal base layer way more in the summer than most people think. Whether I'm going camping, doing some fun activities like going on a boat ride, you're going to want layers to keep you insulated, especially if you're heading towards a glacier. Mid layers are smart too, and you can think fleece, a hoodie, sweater. Chances are you'll wear these a lot more than any t-shirts you pack. Third, an outer layer. You might want to bring a winter coat depending on where you're from and how used to the cold you are, but the one layer I recommend everyone to bring is a rain jacket, especially if you're cruising through the southeast where it can rain a lot. You're going to want a dependable layer that keeps all the water out. P.S. If you want to shop this list, you can do that at the link in the description. Pants. Of course, it's your decision, but typically I wouldn't recommend bringing skirts or dresses. Not only can Alaska be windy, but you'll find that in Alaska, locals tend to wear more outdoor-based clothing, things that are a bit more practical. If I were packing for Alaska in the summer, I would bring some leggings, some comfortable pants, like hiking pants or rainproof pants. Jeans are good too. I wear them all the time, but if you're doing a lot of hiking, if they get wet, they can get cold pretty fast, so up to you. Number 5 is shoes. Like I mentioned before, you're gonna want something practical, something easy to get around in. I am a personal fan of my extra toughs. You'll notice that everyone in Alaska is, but they're not super easy to pack because they can be a bit bulky. So what I would recommend is wearing your hiking shoes and then bringing one pair of backup shoes like tennis shoes or something a little bit more comfortable. If you're planning to visit some cabins, I would bring some slippers too. If you want to bring things like gloves or a hat, I do recommend them if you're planning to visit glaciers. Otherwise, you should be okay. All right. Moving on from clothes, we're getting into the more nitty-gritty things. Things like bug spray, because yes, there are way more mosquitoes here in Alaska than there are people. And if you're planning to visit the interior of Alaska, chances are you'll see a few different swarms of mosquitoes this summer. No. I would also really recommend bringing a mosquito net for your head. They've come in very useful on our trips up north. Number 7-ish is sunglasses, sunscreen, sun shirts. I have a sun hoodie that I absolutely love. And even though we're way up north here in Alaska and you might be second guessing bringing sun protection, the truth is the sun is way stronger up here and you'll get burnt a lot quicker than you usually do back home. Especially considering that in the summer months, daylight is pretty much 24/7. Next up, reusable water bottle. I recommend these in all of my packing lists. It's just good practice. You can refill them anywhere, and if you're heading on a glacier adventure, you'll want to bring it with you so you can try some glacier water. Next up, day pack. If you're visiting Alaska, whether you're on a road trip or on a cruise, You're gonna want a little backpack to bring your essentials with you. Things like sunscreen and sunglasses, maybe a few snacks, and your extra layers like your raincoat. Next one is a big one on my list that a lot of people tend to forget, and that is a sleep mask. Because it stays bright nearly 24/7 here in Alaska during the summer, depending on where you stay, we've seen a lot of cabins that don't always have blackout curtains, which can really mess with your sleep. To keep things comfortable, I recommend packing one just in case. Optional things are, of course, camera gear. I have a full list of camera gear that you can go check out, but if wildlife is your thing, you'll definitely want a zoom lens. And if you plan to head out on a couple of adventures, then definitely bring an action camera, whether that's your Insta360 or your GoPro. Binoculars are also a great way to see wildlife closer up, but we found that most wildlife cruises have them on board for guests to use, so they might just be taking up packing space. Last optional thing is your swimsuit. A lot of stays here in Alaska now have saunas or hot tubs as an amenity on site, so you'll definitely want to bring that so you can enjoy those. One thing that I really want to mention is bear spray. If you're planning to do hiking in Alaska, I always recommend carrying bear spray with you. There have been instances of grizzly maulings and grizzly attacks right outside of Anchorage. So if you're planning to do any hiking at all, I recommend having it. The only thing is you can't fly with bear spray. So you'll want to either buy that when you land, or there's a couple places that rent it out, and you can find those in the description as well. Now there's a few other things that are pretty typical for any packing list. You'll want your passport or ID, keys, phone charger, and your phone, any medicine or toiletries that you want to bring with you. I'm not going to go over those because they seem pretty straightforward to me, so I'll let you worry about those. The very last thing I want to touch on is if you're coming up for a fishing trip, you'll want to get your fishing license for the state of Alaska. You can do this completely online now, and it'll even give you your pass online through their app. So it's super convenient, super easy, and it'll save you a bit of time rather than doing it once you're up here. Because let's be honest, you probably just want to enjoy your summer vacation. Packing for Alaska really isn't that hard. It's really just about bringing the right things. So think layers, think comfort, and think cameras for capturing all your incredible memories that you're about to make. If you want help planning any other part of your trip, let me know in the comments. We have so many resources out there for Alaska travel planning, and I would be more than happy to answer them. So thanks for watching. We hope you have the best time in Alaska this summer, and see you next time. Bye.